Cool. So builders, developers, flippers, anybody that needs any type of building material product, where do you get it? Well, I'm going to tell you the best place in Pittsburgh to get it. Why? Because we're talking real estate, real estate, real estate. Okay, so I am here with
John Reed, a.k.a. JR.
Yeah, JR is how I know him. Damn right. So, JR, you must be important because you were in a chair next to me talking real estate, Pittsburgh, new construction real estate. For those that don't know you, tell us who you are, what you do, etc.
So, John Reed, been in the building supply business for over 35 years. Worked for a few companies, and at 50 years old, I'm now 64, had a midlife crisis. Either buy a Corvette or start my own business, and I don't have a Corvette. So, had a company, JRD Sales, manufacturer's rep, consultant, and my son decided while he was in college he was going to start his own business. So he has a business, Reed Building Supply, and I consult with my son and probably about 5 other companies.
So you used to work for somebody else before.
Correct.
Right. You were an employee. Now you're the employer.
Right.
I always love pointing that out because once you become an employer and you kind of make your own rules, schedule, etc., there's no going back.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you agree?
I agree because I have a lot of bills too.
A Corvette?
Yeah,
You have a Corvette bill?
No Corvette. You know, just once you invest, it's not like you can wake up and say, I think I'll get another job.
Right.
I mean, you're invested.
Right.
You have employees who count on you. And
yeah. So tell us your location and how many employees you have currently.
Well, I'm just me, but my son, who I consult and help with, has eight employees, and we're in McKees Rocks, 441 Robb Street. Mm-hmm. So we have a location, materials, and you can pick up. We deliver most of our materials. We can also send it straight from the manufacturer.
I was going to say, let's talk about it. So I always like to do the podcast and talk as if the consumer doesn't know what you, the guest, does. So what is building materials? Because you and I know, it seems pretty simple, but what are building materials for those people that don't know? What do you supply?
I always tell everybody we can supply everything but brick and block.
Okay.
Until a guy from a Taco Bell, we were supplying him all the lumber, and he says, hey, I need block. And I said, well, we don't really deal with block. He goes, no, you don't understand. I need block. I'm from Oklahoma. Find me a block company and, sell it to me.
No kidding.
So I go to, I have the sale. So I go find the product. I make the deal with them, and I either do it as a consultant or if they need to deliver whatever, turn that to my son and he sells it.
Right. So you're like a hunter.
Right.
If somebody assigns you something to hunt, you will hunt.
Correct.
I love it.
And, especially in these times, people go, oh, how do you deal with the logistics? This is a time to thrive because the big stores, they'll tell you, oh, it's 6 to 8 weeks. And we've been told that too. And I put an order in, figuring it's 6 to 8 weeks, and it shows up in 4 days. So some people, the manufacturers are just giving you an answer because they're not even sure when they can get it out.
All right, that's kind of interesting. And it leads into the question I told you I was going to ask you, and that is, why would somebody use you over a competitor?
Service. We care. We care about our customers, get the product there.
That goes a long way. And I just had this with somebody else on a totally different subject, and they got something, it wasn't building supplies, from, bicycles, I think. There was bicycles. We were talking about bicycles, and they didn't like the big box store because the service is horrible, and the people there are just, teenagers that are out of high school or whatever and don't have any knowledge or experience at all. So the basic building blocks of a business is customer service. The building blocks, I keep saying it, is just give good customer service. And you have to know what you're talking about, which comes from experience.
Right. And that's the motto of my company, JRD Sales. When it was started, our motto was, we're bringing customer service back. Because I've been doing this for a long time, and you got to care. I want to make sure that the people are happy.
100%.
I've been dealing with this for a long time,
so
I have a good reputation.
You have to exceed customers. Right. You have to know what they want before they want it.
Right.
And sometimes you have to give them more than what they want, and that's how they remember you.
Right.
But so anyway, back to the building supplies is lumber, drywall, anything like a
Roofing,
big box.
siding, just anything you need in a building. Remember, we can source it. I've been in the business 35 years, so when I make a call to a manufacturer, they know that I'm pretty much going to have an order because they're looking to sell too.
And that's a good point, sourcing it. So you're not a Home Depot, you're not an 84 Lumber, you don't have a big warehouse with pallets full of flowers, hoses, 2x4s, etc.
Yeah, we deal with the builder.
Right.
The homeowner's going to shop. You're not coming to shop with us. You have a need, you need a good price, and you need service.
Right.
People that want service, that's why I've always dealt in the commercial with the Maceros, Mascaros, PJ Dicks, guys that, they got carpenters out there, 30 of them, and they need the material to work. And if it doesn't show up, I get the phone call. So
your ass is on the line.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a good point. So your clientele is not the public.
No.
They don't walk in and just buy one sheet of drywall.
We'll sell anything to anybody. Decking, people redo their decks. And, one of the things my son found out is people go, hey, do you know anybody that can put that deck on? And I would turn them on to somebody, and then the next thing, I'm getting a phone call. Joe Schmo didn't call, So we decided to start sourcing labor, and we're now doing installed sales.
I was going to say, tell me about some of the other companies that are umbrellaed or splintered off of the original one.
Well, like I said, these are my son's businesses, Reed Building Supply, and now he has a company, AR Construction, that is doing work. So
they're licensed contractors in the state of Pennsylvania and do work.
Right.
That's how the decking thing came about?
Well, it's just how we grew it.
Okay.
The decking thing came back because of a need, because I would find contractors who really know how to put a deck down or whatever, the siding or roofing, but they're not good businessmen. They're not billing. They're not returning calls. In the business,
right.
How many people out there said I called 4 people and none of them returned my phone call? So we're able to supply the material to the customer and have the labor. We'll pay the installer, schedule him, and he likes it because as soon as he's done, we pay. He doesn't have to wait, as long as the customer's happy.
Interesting. And so you keep referencing your son. This is your son's business, and you work for him? So you're the employee?
I do some consulting for him. He's my son. I have my own business. He's my only son. Now I have a grandson.
Yeah.
So,
congratulations.
Thank you. That's where the money's going now. And the little kitty for Aaron Jr.
For the little kitty.
Yeah. So, but I have my own business, but I'm helping my son out.
Right.
Yeah, and there's a lot of jobs. He's involved in August Wilson. He's involved in the New Granada, a lot of the work going up in the hills.
I was just going to say, why don't you give me some examples, some of the projects you guys are currently involved with, if you don't mind.
Right. He's actually doing, supplying a lot of concrete, rebar, forming lumber at the airport.
What's going on at the airport, for those that don't know?
They're building a brand new airport.
A brand new airport?
Brand new airport.
Attached to the old one?
No, the old one, they don't know if they're going to tear it down.
Really?
Or keep it there. Someone had talked about a mall. It's still up in the air.
Wow. That seems like it shows how old I am. It seems like that was just the new airport not too long ago.
It was 30 years ago. I was involved in supplying when they built that, so that's showing my age. And as I told you, I was involved in the building of this building where the broadcast is.
Yeah.
East Liberty.
How about any of the stadiums? You involved in any of those?
Well,
that was way back.
That was way back. Yes, at Heinz Field.
Yeah.
I was involved with Mascaro and at PNC with the
Right. Yeah. So you're working on the airport. What else do you have going on? Or Aaron have going on?
Oh, Aaron has the airport. There's a new hospital coming, Presby. He's involved in that with the concrete.
Wow.
So he's, besides supplying, he's also getting into the installed sales.
Right.
So, my son's business, my son is African American. It's a minority-owned business, and we are also employing minorities. We're joint venturing with other minority companies out there. So
I say, let's talk about that more because that's very fascinating. I work for as a realtor a lot of minorities. I guess you call them minorities, but anymore it seems like it's more and more popular, more and more common to have people from out of the country come in and minorities, etc. So your business is all minority.
Well, in the business, there's jobs that are like the airport.
Right.
Need so much participation. So my son, he doesn't wave a flag that, hey, I'm a minority company,
Right.
you have to deal with me. He's out procuring business with making sure there's good pricing. But some of the subs we work on job, we're trying to help them
I love that.
too, because it's hard to A, start a business,
Yeah.
and B, as in a minority business, as we know in the world today how we're trying to change things.
Right. And how's it been going? How long has it been like that? How long have you had your business?
I've had my business since 2009. And my son, I think he started his out of college in 2016.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Interesting. So there's no other businesses like yours, though, right?
Oh, there's other businesses.
That are a minority?
Yes, there's a couple.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fascinating. I did not know that.
And it's tough to grow, and there are a lot of hurdles and that's why the government years ago started, to help minority businesses along.
Right.
There's a lot of work going up in the Hill District, and I'm excited about that changing up there.
The Hill District was a not so great area for a long period of time, but it's changed over. I just sold a $600,000 brand new house on Borough Street, which is lower. I don't know if you call it South Oakland or whatever, but like the Hill District was right there.
Right.
And it's nothing like it used to be. I ride my bike through there a lot.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm excited when the Granada Theater opens.
So what is going on in the Hill District? And what's this Granada
Well, the
Theater?
Granada Theater is going to be it's going to be a theater with some restaurants and some area up there. Going to bring shows in, I believe.
That's cool.
But yeah, it's been sitting for years, and my son's working along with company A. Martini.
Yeah.
Been helping mentor my son. And
Oh,
that's
cool.
some of the things that is kind of exciting, to be able to, go side by side and have someone work with you. We're excited. My son was involved, and I helped with the new mayor, Ed Gainey. We're excited. Ed, I believe, in this city is making some great changes already, and I'm hoping everybody gets behind him. And
I think the support's been going rather well for him.
It has.
Yeah, I mean, it was time for a change.
Yeah.
As it usually is after so many years of... Right. So that's very good. And that's a good point about the mentor. I mean, I'm big on coaching. I talk about it a lot when other real estate agents just get their license and talk to me about it. I'm like, you got to get a coach, man. Mentor's kind of the same way. I'm sure they don't have contractor coaches systems out there. Maybe that's something you should think about getting into.
Yeah. Well, I do some mentoring in other areas.
Mm-hmm.
So, and one of the things we believe in is giving back. I've been on involved with Light of Life mission.
Yeah.
Been on the campaign cabinet, and my son is now on the new Light of Life Young Professionals. They started.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
How old is your son?
He's 28.
You need to think about that. I was trying to trip you up. You could have picked any number. I wouldn't have done it anyway.
Right.
So what's he doing right now? What's his day-to-day look like? What's his day-to-day and your day-to-day look like?
Well, my day-to-day is I get up, and it's almost reacting. I kind of plan, make a couple of sales calls, but someone calls your buddy that needed a couple doors. You and your guy need a couple doors. Go source them, find out what we need. His thing is he's running a company, so he's out. He's wearing multiple hats.
Yeah, I would say
he's
think so.
owner, sales guy. Just got to go in. So.
And that's a good point. We do want to talk about it. I am developing a house with a business partner over in the Central North Side, and my guy always goes to 84 Lumber. And I think, and you probably know this already, people just get comfortable with who they're with and don't really care to try anybody else. So we needed doors or something. And I was like, man, you got to at least talk to JR and see what he says. And then I talked to him a couple of days later, and he was over the moon thrilled with the price and the customer service and how quickly we were able to get those doors. And that's not just a plug. I'm not just saying it because you're here. I said that to you off the show and other people as well. So I think you'll be getting our business because of the good customer service.
Much appreciated and earned. I mean, we.
Oh, totally. Yeah. We don't give anything away. You've got to earn it.
Right.
And to pull somebody away from somebody you're comfortable with, you just pick up the phone and go straight to 84 Lumber, and now that's going to change because it just takes one opportunity.
Right. I always tell everybody, though, how can you beat 84 lumber? Or I go, have you ever met Joe Hardy? And they said, no. I said, well, you met John Reed. You've met Aaron Reed. You've met the owners.
Yeah.
One of the things that was, I tell a lot of people about customer service is when the riots started here, when the Black Lives Matter, we got a call at 8 p.m. at night from the owner of Mascaro. We need your help. This is a Saturday night.
Right.
We need a bunch of lumber. So they had built a wall around all 5 blocks of PNC's corporate business. And we delivered lumber from 1 a.m. on Sunday till 11 a.m. so that they could put a barrier around the building.
Man, you're not going to
didn't call the other guys.
Just going to say that.
I kind of learned that I don't talk much about my competition. Right. I talk about what we can.
I love that. Yeah. I'll talk about your competition.
Yeah. They do enough BR or bad BR for themselves.
Right. So. I agree. So, in your life, in your career, tell me something you would tell the old, if you can go back and tell the young JR, something to do and something not to do. And I'm asking you this question while you think about it. The purpose is and I always try to influence somebody that's younger than us. For me, it's a younger realtor or whatever. I want them to learn from my mistakes. So it might be somebody that might be a little bit lost. Maybe they're in the supply business. Maybe they're thinking about being a contractor. What is like a mistake you may have made in your younger days that you would go back to the younger JR and say, hey, listen, go this way instead of that way?
Well, I probably didn't pay much attention to the future. Back in my days, it was the disco era.
Yeah.
We were out partying and instead of worrying about what's my future going to look like and focus on day to day getting up and taking that drive. So my drive didn't start till I was 36 years old.
Yeah.
So I kind of like wasted my life up until about 36. And when my son was born, it was kind of a wake up like, wow, I got responsibility. So get responsible.
I think that's a good point, is it's never too late.
Right.
So, we're framed, we're drilled in our heads to go to college. You should have it all figured out at age 22 or 18 or whatever. That's insanity. I didn't figure it out until I was 40 and you at 37. Right. So there's always an opportunity to start a new chapter that's better than the one before.
Yeah, and I started my business at 50.
Oh, that's amazing.
So I went to work for somebody, got myself together, and got responsible.
Yeah.
And then at 50 decided that I wasn't happy anymore.
Good for you.
And I think maybe that's something too. Make sure you're happy whatever you do.
Right.
When you wake up in the morning, be excited about what you're going to do.
And it's so cliche to say that if you love your job, you never have to work a day in your life. But it's so true. I was just talking to another realtor last night, and neither one of us, through our high school years and all that, we're meant to be anything in life. Like, we were just C- students and thought we'd be making $30,000 a year for the rest of our lives. And legitimately, we're both doing well. And we even the toughest day in real estate is better than, to me, a 9-to-5 job answering to somebody else, traveling an hour into work, an hour out of work, etc. So
yeah, there's days that I wish I could just go in and somebody give me a paycheck. Yeah. But they're very rare.
And it's funny because when you're the guy, you're the top guy. Right. You have to have the answers. Right. So when you get into a situation and there's no answer, it's like, shit, I can't call helpline. I have to figure it out. And then once I think you do that the first time, then the second time it comes easier, and the third time. That's kind of how you grow into your supervisor, employer, entrepreneur role. And is time after time after time, you figure it out. And you're like, I can figure this out. I can solutionize. I'm going to make up a word.
Right. Well, I always get people say that, oh, you own your own business, you can do whatever you want. Well, you can. Your business isn't going to thrive.
Right.
But, at 9:30 on this Saturday morning, I got a call from a company across the street. There's a deer stuck in your yard in the gate.
What?
Yeah. So he got in there at night, and I'm the only one that the phone number, so I got to go down and chase a deer around until he runs out of the building.
Yeah, it's this small, stupid shit like that people just don't understand what we do. Like when I was younger and I always saw people that had their own business, I thought, oh my God, they're so rich. And then I got to meet some of them, and some of them weren't rich. Some of them were upside down, or some were rich but had responsibilities that they couldn't go to the person above them because they were the person above them. Yeah, so that's entrepreneurship, really.
We all fail, And one of my favorite guys I like to listen to is Denzel Washington. And Denzel always says, fail forward.
And that's great. And that's true.
Fall forward. And some of my best lessons have been through failure.
Because you're always going to fail. If you're not failing, you're not trying something different. I mean, let's face it. I mean, that's why it took you until 50 to figure out exactly what you wanted to do in life.
I still try to figure it out every day.
So what's next? What's at 70? What are you going to start at 70?
Who knows?
Nothing.
Hang out with you in Florida.
You can come do that anytime you want. Any parting words to anybody? Any vendors or shout out to anybody?
I just want to shout out to the Lord for giving me the opportunity again to just come out and serve Him better. Hey, I'm involved if you're looking for a good charity to get involved with Light of Life Mission, and it was just on TV. With this heat, it's a big problem with the homeless. So,
yeah.
Give back.
Yeah.
That's
fall forward, etc. That's the best shout out to give is the Lord.
Yeah. Amen.
All right. So vendors, builders. He has everybody he works with already. Just about every developer in Pittsburgh. But if you're one of the rare ones he's not working with, please give JR a shot. Thanks for coming out, brother.
All right, brother. Thank you.
Appreciate you.